Hi there. I am going to be showing you all how to make sure that your absentee ballot gets counted today. So if you need to request an absentee ballot still, you can watch the video that we posted last week where I showed you all how to request an absentee ballot. And then I think I forgot to mention in that video that some states require you to submit a copy of your photo ID. And if you need help doing that, you can either contact us, the K-Votes team, or you can go to votewriters.org/photocopy-my-ID, and they can send you the same thing that we would do basically, but it would be a copy of your ID, a stamped envelope, and then also a paper application that you can mail to your state. So if you need help still requesting your absentee ballot, let us know as soon as possible because the deadline for many states are coming up. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do after you get your ballot in the mail is probably to open it and then look through everything that comes in the package. So for example, mine has 6 pieces of paper, including the ballot, that I need to look through. The first thing I'm going to look at are the instructions, and that is super important. You need to read your instructions all the way through before you start marking anything. Follow everything exactly as it says on your instructions, and if you need any clarification, reach out to your county clerk's office. I have contact information on my instruction form. You will probably have contact information on your instructions too, and if you don't, then you can just search for your county election office and like on Google, and it should pop up, and then you can contact them either by phone or by email, but phone is probably the way to go. So the most important things to look for on the instructions are going to be whether or not you need to have a witness, and that's really important because if you need a witness, then you can't start filling out your ballot until you have a witness, because they need to witness you fill out the ballot, and then they will sign saying that they witnessed you filling out the ballot. And then you also need to know what kind of ink to use on the ballot. So like mine says to use black or blue ink, and most states probably say that. I would probably suggest using black ink. Also to look at when it needs to be postmarked by. My instructions say that it needs to be postmarked by election day, which is November 3rd. And that's just important so that you know the timeline for filling out your ballot. We recommend to do it as soon as possible, but if you need to wait a couple days, make sure that you do have time to wait a couple days. Okay, so after reading all of my instructions and contacting my county election person if I have any questions, I'm going to move on to actually filling out my ballot. Again, I will use a pen with black ink, and if I need a witness, I will make sure that I have a witness before I start filling out the ballot. Also on my ballot, it says on the top right here that I need to completely fill in the oval. So make sure that if you are voting, you completely fill in the ovals. Do whatever your instructions tell you to do, because when they run these through the machines, if you don't completely fill out the oval, then your vote might not get counted. And then another thing, if you make a mistake on the ballot, it will say on your instructions how to correct it, most likely. For example, mine shows what to do if you make a mistake, and make sure that you read yours because it might not be the same for every state, so I don't want to tell you how I have to correct it, so that you look on your instructions. And then, so when I look at my ballot, I have this whole front page of offices that I can vote for, and I also have a back page. So make sure that you look at your ballot both sides so that you know all of the people who you can vote for. Vote for everybody on here if you want to, if you can. It's really important to not just vote for like the president or your governor. It really matters who your local officials are, and also like all the people on the back of mine are judges, so it's really important that I vote for the judges who I want to be on our district courts. Another thing to note is that if you don't want to vote for any office, you don't have to vote. And also, if you vote, you most likely can only vote for one person who's running for that position. So again, make sure that you read your directions and contact your county office with any questions. Okay, so after I have completely filled out my ballot and double checked that every person who I wanted to vote for was voted for and all of the ovals are completely filled in, and I corrected any mistakes the way that my instructions told me to correct them, I need to get ready to mail my ballot back to them. So for my instructions, I have to put my ballot in the gold envelope, the secrecy envelope, and then this envelope I have to put into my personal identification envelope, like this, and then seal both of those and then fill this out. So again, I don't know everything that is going to come in every different absentee package for every state, but make sure that you do it exactly the way that it says in your instructions. I think it was in Philadelphia that I saw if you don't put your ballot in this envelope right here, your vote won't get counted, even if you mail it back. So make sure that you do exactly what your instructions say. The reason that they have you put it in the ballot envelope is so that your vote is still secret when they open this, but they have to check in your information to make sure that you're like a registered voter, you're not voting twice or anything like that. So for me, I have to go and fill in my social security number or driver's license number, and then I have to sign it. It's gonna be different in like most states, they're not all the same, but the biggest thing that you need to do is sign your envelope that you mail it back in. So sign it right here. I will also show the picture of the Michigan one so you can see where to sign. Another thing about Michigan is that you cannot remove the tab that comes on the ballot. If you have voted in Michigan before, you know what I'm talking about, most likely. Again, read your instructions. Okay, so after I have filled out my personal information, signed my ballot, and sealed my little envelope, I have to put this into the envelope that I mail it back in. Okay, so after everything is in here, I have a witness signature if I need. I have my signature on there. I filled out my ballot is in here. When everything is ready to go, then I'm going to put it in my mailbox and mail it, or I can find a drop box, which will probably say on your instructions if you have drop boxes or where to find out where those are. Or you can usually drop it off at your county office. They'll accept these, but it's different every city, every state. They're all different, so just make sure that you pay attention to what's happening in your area. And then after you mail your ballot or after you drop it off, you can track your ballot online. And if you need to do that or want to do that, you can go to our Instagram page, click on our link, go to the Voting Basics tab, and then go to the Request an Absentee Ballot, I believe. And under all of those links, there should be links to track your ballot as well. And the last thing I'll say about absentee voting is that if you requested an absentee ballot, you get your absentee ballot, and you decide not to vote by absentee, you want to vote in person, you most likely can do that, but make sure that you call your county election office to see how to do that. For most states, you can just bring your ballot to your polling place, and then they will either take your absentee ballot and then give you a new ballot, or they will give you a provisional ballot, which means you just vote and then they won't count your provisional ballot right away. They'll wait to see if you turn in an absentee ballot by the deadline, and if you do not, then they will count your provisional ballot. Okay, so that was kind of a lot to cover, but I hope it helped all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you fill out your absentee ballot today and mail it back in. So, bye.